Hey everybody, JDV here. It's with a heavy heart that I have to announce a sad day for horror fans as Ron Sweed, better known as the Ghoul, has passed away at age 70. Ron Sweed was really the first syndicated horror host that I know of anyway. He started off in Cleveland at the tender age of 13 helping Ghoulardi when he dressed up as a gorilla and would act crazy on stage. Soon he began to intern at the station that Ghoulardi worked at. And when Ghoulardi went off to L.A., and when Sweed got back from college, he took over the part, shortening it down to the Ghoul. He was wildly successful in Cleveland, Detroit, where perhaps he had his best success. I remember seeing him here in the Detroit area as a kid. He was also syndicated in Philly, Boston, Chicago, although he didn't do as well there because of Svengoolie, both the original Svengoolie and the new one that's on MeTV now, who is great. I think he was also in Boston, San Francisco. He was in a lot of cities in the Midwest and some cities out on the West Coast. He had a kind of a crazy style. He kind of started off as kind of a hippie dip kind of character, kind of a lot of the kind of early 70s drug related kind of references. But as time went on and that kind of went out of fashion, he kind of got into kind of like a more Gallagher esque type show where he'd smash stuff up and blow things up with firecrackers and stuff. He was on the air as the Ghoul starting, I think, in 1971, all the way up through like 1998, 1999. I remember very distinctly when he made a kind of a mini comeback here in the Detroit area, I think on a local station, Channel 20. He was incredibly a charismatic, high-energy guy. He's exactly what you want in a horror movie host. He would crack gags during the show. He'd burp whenever anyone took a drink of beer or anything like that. You'd showed all the cheesy movies that you'd want a horror host to show, and really is the prototype for all modern day horror hosts, at least in terms of the kind of tongue-in-cheek attitude that he had. The wacky makeup and the kind of inanimate objects used as characters. In his case, Froggy, which is a little rubber frog character that he would use constantly. He was, I don't know that he really had much success out of doing that character, but it was it was a fun time to be alive in the 70s and 80s when you're a kid, being even up to a teenager, because there were a lot of horror hosts. And while that has made a comeback, most particularly with the aforementioned Svengoolie on MeTV, for a time there wasn't any. But even when the kind of the genre was down, Ron Sweed was there with his Ghoulie character, doing podcasts, coming out to do charity events, doing Halloween specials and things like that. So anyway, here's to you, Ron Sweed, the Ghoul, age 70, rest in peace.